Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today I am doing my wrap up for July. I read 20 books in the month of July and 3 of them were graphic novels. So I'm just going to show you what I read and give you my thoughts on each book. So the first one is a book 3 of a series. I read Screwdrivered by Alice Clayton. It's new adult. So it does have sexual content in it. I enjoyed it, but I gave it 3.5 stars. It wasn't as good as Wallbanger. Wallbanger was a 5-star for me. So it was good. It did have some laugh out loud moments, and I did enjoy it, but it was a little slow. So that's why I gave it a 3.5. I am continuing the series. I already have the next book. Okay, the next book that I read was a YA book called The Secrets We Keep by Trisha Lever. That's this one here. And I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's about 2 twins, Ella and Maddie, and they, something tragic happens and they switch places, and it was really good. I highly recommend it. The next book that I read was Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. I gave this 4 stars. It's an adult book. It was very dark, and I do want to see the movie, so that's why I read this one. I listened to it on audio. It was good. The next book was a graphic novel, and this is book 1 of a series. It's called Lock and Key by Joe Hill, and I really enjoyed this one. Again, I gave this one 4 stars. It's about ghosts, and it has it's for mature audiences, and it has a lot of creepiness and blood in it, but I did enjoy it, and I will be continuing the series. The next book is another graphic novel that I read, and this is book 3 of the series. It's Chew, and that's this one here, and I gave this one 4 stars. I enjoyed this. You learn more about his family, and it was good. So the next book that I read was a middle grade book. It is written in verse. It's Heartbeat by Sharon Creech, and I liked it so much. My 2 daughters just finished it and read it as well, and it's about an 11-year-old girl. I gave this one 4 stars. I forgot to show you the book. This is Heartbeat by Sharon Creech, and I gave it 4 stars. It's written in verse, and it was really good. So the next book I read was a novella, and it's The Prince by Kira Cass, and it's from the Selection series. That's this one. And I gave this one 4 stars. It's told by the Prince, and I really enjoyed it, but it's a retelling of book 1 and 2, and it was good though. The next book I got from NetGalley, and I read this for review. This is Does This Beach Make Me Look Fat? This is a non-fiction book by Lisa Scottolini and Francesca Sarantella. That's this one here, and I gave it 3 stars. I didn't really like the entire book. Some parts I liked. I liked Lisa's story, I guess because she's more my age or whatever. I didn't like Francesca's. She was talking about dating and all that, so I didn't really relate to that. But I did enjoy Lisa's story. So, and that's a non-fiction book. The next book is something we listened to on audio, all 4 of us, and we finished Harry Potter, The Goblet of Fire. That's this one. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was very, very long, a little boring at parts. The end was really good. We did watch the movie, and technically I like the movie more than the book. So that's this one. And I want to start book 5. Book 5 is bigger than book 4. So I'm hoping that I like it and it doesn't drag on. So that's that one. The next book that I read Read with Friends, I read Please Ignore Vera Dietz by A.S. King. That's this one here. And I gave this 4 stars. I liked it. And then the next book I read was another graphic novel, and this one was really, really good. I gave this one 5 stars. It's Nimona. And the reason I liked this so much was because there was no sexual content in it, and there was no inappropriate words. And I would let my kids read it. So that's this one. The next book is a book that I took out on audio, and I wanted to start the Cinder series. So I picked up Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and I listened to it on audio, and I really didn't like it. I gave it 2.5 stars. I think there's more hype on it than needs to be, and it was okay. She talked about going to the ball, and she never even got to the ball. I was like, what the heck? But she is a cyborg. It was okay. I will continue the series, but I was just very disappointed. And the next book is something I read with friends, and again, this is one that was a disappointment for me. It's Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. That's this one. I gave it 3 stars, but I really didn't like it that much, and the best part of it was the purple cover. I liked the cover more than the book. So anyway, so that's my story on that one. I'm not sure I'm going to continue on. I don't know. So I keep on like putting it in my shopping cart and then taking it out and putting it in my shopping cart. So I don't know if I will continue it, but everybody loves this, and I don't know if I should reread it or what. I just maybe I was in a reading slump at the time. I don't know. The next book I picked up was a short story, and it's Girl Stolen by April Henry. It's this one here, and I gave this one 3.5 stars. I enjoyed it. It's about a blind girl who gets kidnapped, and it was a little predictable, but I did enjoy the story. The next one I gave a 5-star to. I think this was the best book that I read the whole month, which is it's a short story, but this is book 1 of a series. It's Once by Morris Gleitzman. That's this one here. I tend to like Holocaust books, and this one kept my attention, and I really enjoyed it. And I will be continuing the series. I think there was 4 or 5 books in the series, and I like this one the most out of all the books I read this month. So the next book I read was a middle grade book, and I gave this, well, this is book 1 of a series. I gave this 3.5 stars, and it's Among the Hidden by Margaret Peterson Haydix. This one here. This one was about a 13-year-old boy that was hidden for all of his life. He is a 3rd child, and in their world, they are only allowed to have 2 children in each family, and the 3rd child has to be either aborted or killed. And I thought that was pretty interesting story, interesting plot, and I will continue the series. The next book that I read is an adult book. I finally picked up another Jodi Picoult book, and I listened to this on audio. I picked up Leaving Time by Jodi Picoult, and I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. There was 4 multiple POVs in this, so it did get a little confusing. It's about a 13-year-old girl who is searching for her mom. Her mom's name is Alice, and she is a trainer for, she studies elephants. So had elephants from the circus and elephants in the zoo, and it was pretty interesting. There was a psychic who also was one of the point of views, and there was also a detective looking for the mom. So there was a big plot twist at the end, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, the next book I listened to on audio as well. It's Everything I Never Told You, and I gave this one 4 stars. This is by Celeste Neng. It's this one here. And I really enjoyed this one. This was about a girl who was born in the 1970s, which I was born in the 1970s. She has a mixed family. Her father is Chinese. Her mom is white, and in the beginning of the book, she is found dead in the lake, and then they have the whole book is telling you leading up how did she get into the lake, did someone kill her, or did she do suicide? So you're trying to figure it out, and it's in the past tense, and it was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. The next book that I read, finally finished. I've been trying to read this one for a while. This is book 2 of a series. Now, I loved book 1. I gave book 1 a 5 out of 5 stars. It was The Taking, and I finally finished The Replaced by Kimberly Durding. Here it is right here. And I wound up taking it out on audio to try to finish it up. I didn't like it as much as The Taken. It was very slow in the beginning. It did pick up at the end, and I only gave this one 3 stars. So it was a disappointment. And the last book that I finished in the month of July was Ask the Dark by Henry Turner. And I listened to this one on audio, which is this one here. It's a psychological thriller type book. It's told by a 14-year-old boy. His name is Billy Zeitz, and he was always bad. He was a troublemaker when he was younger. And in his neighborhood, the boys started to turn up missing. And then he found some clues, and he was trying to find the boys. So I was on the edge of my seat for most of this book. The only thing, I would have gave this 5 stars, but the reason I brought it down to 4.5 stars I gave it is because there was a southern accent, and it was hard to listen to. But I did like how the author did curse throughout the whole book, but every time he cursed, he always apologized, which was really... I thought that was really cool. He always would say like a curse word and say, oh, I apologize for saying this or whatever. But I thought that was really cool. So I gave it 4.5 stars. And that's all I read for the month of July. I'm in the middle of my books downstairs. I'm in the middle of a book. I'm in the middle of I Will Save You by Matt De La Pena. It's a Goodreads group, Read with Friends, I'm sorry. And I'm on page 186, and I wasn't able to finish it for the month of July, but it will be in my wrap-up for August, because I'm almost completed with that book. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I am still off from work in the month of August, so I'm hoping that I will get better books. So we'll see. I am participating in Booktubeathon, so I do have a large TBR for that, which I already put my video up, and so we'll see if I get more. I don't know if I'll read 20 books, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!